Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity to practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, and so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Concert Brooks. I know this episode we're going to talk about. Don't rush it, don't rush it. And it's one of those topic that is very important because, you know, you have the fast life and the slow life. And the fast life, and the thing about it that is that the slow life eventually reaches the fast life, where it just takes a longer time. But it in the end is worth it. But so that's the thing. But what happened is that people, the wrong assumption that we all have is that the slow life doesn't reach to that nice part that the fast life shows. So the fast life shows you the results and the nice life and such like that. But you don't realize that the slow life is eventually reached there. It just takes a while. But the thing about the slow life is that when it reach, it's more sustainable. The fast life is more you get it and it's gone. So yeah, so that's the thing. And the thing about it is that one of my previous guests, he talks about don't rushing it. His case he was talking about social media. Don't follow people on social media and try to rush your process. Take your time. And that's a good lesson as well in that. But what happens, why? It's a simple statement. But why many people don't do it? And it's because one thing that I've realized is that the slow way, while they eventually reach to the fast way, fast life, and it's more sustainable. The slow way hasn't been established. That's basically what I've seen from my experience. That's why you have things like a lot of entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are people that are started building something new from scratch. And why is that happening? Because the things are not established. That's why I need people. So that's one of the main reasons that I think, based on what I've experienced and see. I think that's one of the main reasons why I know a lot of people rush it. Is because the fast life is just you just get the money and just do the things. But the slow life, you have to build it. That's where entrepreneurs come in. They have to build it from scratch, go through all the rough, the ups and the downs, and then when the glory comes, then you become this overnight success. But people don't realize that okay, yeah, there was a lot of up and down to get here. And the thing about the slow life that kind of turn away people from it is that you may not get to fully experience the fast life perks, because when you do it the slow way, you might die a little bit after you establish the slow way, so that yeah, so I said that's one of the many things that kind of turn away people from the slow life. Yeah, but the thing about it is that one of the thing is that the most important thing that prevents people from experiencing the slow life is that none of the slow life ways is established. It is not a blueprint. I can't give you this and say, okay, if you just do this, it will take you 10 years, but on the way you will experience that no, none of the ways are established. Just like my field I went through and I got the degree. But even my third year, my lecturers told me how bleak the science world is about getting a job. So when I came out of the university, I got the degree and I experienced a nice life. Yeah. So I got the so being a science person, you're more like to be a nerd and such like that. So in the start, you're unpopular, you're a nerd, you're unpopular. But when I reach university, that life that the popular kids, usually the girls and such like that, I got to experience that when I reach university while being a nerd. You know, as because the woman that I met there, they were, I guess, in some cases, a nerd themselves, but they're women. So regardless, they are nerd or not, they're the opposite sex. They're basically what we're after. But what happened is that me taking that slow road and reaching that level, those quality women, the majority of the popular kid that took the fast road and never care about school and such like that never got to experience that side and not realize that that university part of it is so much more like than the high school part of it. And the thing about it is that me taking a slow road, eventually in high school, I open up the levels of, being popular or being known, through me playing basketball and such like that. And then, girls taking interest in me and such like that. But when it reached university, the floodgate open as there's a lot of girls doing that. So you see, the slow road, the perks are there at the end. But you have to just go through the ups and downs. And the thing about it is that the the slow road is more sustainable, but you have to stay the course. You have to stay the course. And the thing about it is that one of the next thing about the slow road is that you have to really delay your gratification because next thing again when I was doing the slow road, so when I reached university I got access to all these women and such like that. My third year, one of those women calls me one of my downfalls. So as I said, you're taking the slow road to get the rewards, but the rewards can really push you back a lot if you don't really delay the gratification. So you have to really delay the gratification until you get the right point. Then you can, when you reach a point where it's more sustainable, then you can start introduce the rewards. Then you can actually maintain it, or you cannot take the risk. And, but I said the slow road, the perk is there. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to rush it. And they think same thing with the podcast. The podcast, and took my time with it. I started it 5 episode in, I got paranoid and I stopped. And then eventually I started it. And what I started to do was basically just record some episode, and over time problems came. I started turning people off, all kind of stuff. And it reached a point because when I started the podcast, my so-called fan base, people that started to split in the sense that I was losing people that I knew from like friends and such like that. And it was a hard decision. That's one of the laws that you have to do, and you have to push through those things, right? Whereas you're taking the slow road and you're just trying to establish your part, your sustainable part. And I had to really just say, okay, I'm going to just push through because I see the vision that I want. The friends may not see the vision, but when you get a glimpse of the vision, the thing that you're losing is worth the chance of just trying to get to see that vision come to reality. And then what happened was quality people start coming to my life. Quality people, and then not only that, quality people started to take interest in me. So that's what happened when it does Just take the time to take the slow road and just develop the craft slowly. What happened over time was that ideas came out to really develop the podcast and how to make it sustain, because it's not yet sustainable as yet. It's not as sustainable as yet, but it's slowly but surely getting sustainable. As I said, the next part of it that I have to do, if I get that done, and this part of it is going to take is one where the real work comes in. But if I get that done, then the podcast becomes sustainable. Well, partly because I think when that vision comes to reality, then there's something else about it that I think I'll need to do. But yeah, but when that time comes and fully do it, the sustainability will be there. And the thing I'm talking about is that I'm taking the slow road. The sustainability that I'm talking about is that it will live on past me. All these episodes and such like that will live on past me. So even when I said, okay, I'm finished with the podcast and on to doing something else, the park the because I took the slow road and built a sustainability, it can live on after I said, okay, I'm done with the podcast, time to do something else. So that's the idea of the don't rush it that I'm trying to push. That the fast road is tempting, and sometimes you have to take the fast road. Sometimes you have to just. And when I don't say you have to take the fast road, I don't mean you have to just do the wrong way and such like that. Sometimes you have to just, like for example, the quality versus quantity. Sometimes you have to just make that big purchase to buy the best quality thing instead of taking your time buying the smallest quality and working your way up. Sometimes you're in the position to just buy the best quality and just do it and finish. You know. But sometimes when you're starting something from scratch and you see the vision that you want yourself, and there's no one there that has the vision that you have to really take the slow road and take your time and build it out step by step. Step by step. Don't rush the process. Don't. And the thing about it is that people will come into your life and try to rush your process. That happens a lot on my journey. And they have valid points, and I had to really switch up my strategies and such like that. But what happened was over time I learned how to really manage the outside people that trying to rush my process. As I would say, I fully do it, but over time I'm getting better. I'm not rushing this process, but have to take into account that okay, they have results that they need to get as well. So I need to actually do, for example, getting that job and such like that. So yeah, in the slow road is a very up and down road, but the the benefit that the the fast road doesn't that benefit of the slow road that the fast road doesn't give is the sustainability. That is the main thing, because I've been through the fast road in some certain things, and it's a one night of fun, nice and stuff like that. But when it's done, it's done. I can't really savor it. That sustainability part, that's what I did was working on. And that's why I kind of left majority of the party scene, where I kind of stopped partying. All those stuff. I left all those stuff behind because I wanted something sustainable. I wasn't the reason why I was this topic kind of became relevant now is because when I leave the party scene, when I left university and the party scene, I was not rich in the sense I had to make sacrifices to go to those parties. So like sometimes, if you remember one of the episode, my carnival experience, when I finished my third year, when I went to all three, when I enjoyed the full experience of the carnival for weeks after that, I had no money at all. So that's basically the thing that I'm trying to give you an idea of, like the fast road. Yeah, get to experience a nice life, but the after effects after you finish that fast life is terrible, terrible. So, but if you get to really do the slow way and it's more sustainable, then you can have maybe the perks of the fast life. Then after the fast aspect of it over, you're able to sustain yourself after. So that's basically the vision I'm trying to get. But as I said, everything is easier said than done. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. If you are listening to a previous couple of episodes back, this is my 4-year anniversary. This year will be my 4th year since I left university, and this year would make it be 2022. Maybe 3 years. Maybe 3 years I'm doing the podcast thing. Yeah. So 3, maybe 2. Yeah, maybe 3. Cause I started maybe 3 years ago, but I maybe officially started doing it more 2 years ago. So, as I said, it's something for you to think on. And thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Yeah.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
I guess if you mentioned way back when, you'd have heard that, and I started to do the second cleaning up the backyard, and I got a tool. I got a tool that I was that I got to actually assist with that, and that is the machete. And the thing about it is that the when I just started, we're on day 10 now, because I say it's the first time I'm using the tool, so takes time to actually get into it. And, prior to this, none of these tasks I never usually do. I was pretty protected person. Majority of the hard labor stuff that many people men do, and I never really do that stuff. I never. So I was really in the real world when things got hard. I was start getting on my own, like after university.